if Natasha is not the person that is receiving this treatment, will your attitude, will you support the suspension of an elected representative by the Senate?
Yeah, I mean, suspension happens in the United Kingdom in Parliament. I worked at the British Parliament as a temp while I was doing my master's in England. So suspension happens there. Suspension happens at Congress in the United States. I've been to Congress several times. So you can suspend. Let me land.
Right.
So you can suspend. The issue there is this: is that Natasha Akpoti has a pattern of dishonesty. She's falsely accused me of similar things to what she's accused the Senate President, and she lied against me. Now, if I didn't have a first-class British Airways ticket, of which I had to go and ask British Airways to send to me, proving that I was not in the country on May 6, 2014, when the President Jonathan hosted President Uhuru Kenyatta to a state banquet and also showed my passport with a stamp from U.S. immigration, she would have finished me. My life would have been over. She lied against me, saying that I made sexual advances to her at that event, and I wasn't even in the country. Eventually, I was paid a huge sum as out-of-court settlement. So that is a pattern of dishonesty. Another pattern of dishonesty that we see is when she went for the International Parliamentary Union. She sat on a seat with the label Nigeria and spoke as if she was representing Nigeria. Actually, that seat did not belong to her. That seat belonged to Honorable Kafilat, who had been called to the high table. And then when she saw that that seat was empty, she stealthily went there and sat down. And that was opportunistic. It shows that is how it happens. So if I'm lying, I mean, Natasha is very, very quick at going to court, then she should take me to court. So that shows dishonesty. Now, I don't know what happened between her and the Senate President because I wasn't there. But one thing I know is that Natasha is a liar, a very dishonest human being. Now, in the case of her suspension, look, you've seen situations whereby governors were impeached, or governors, maybe they said they won an election and then maybe another person was declared and then they went to court. When they went to court, sometimes they won their case. And when they won their case, after the time, like the 4 years, those governors argued before court and said, no, I'm not going to go because, I mean, this period I was in court. And then the court ruled in their favor. An example is Peter Obi. And that's why in Anambra, they don't have elections with other people. That's why in a state like...
Off-season.
Exactly. That's why in some other states, they have off-season elections, like Osho. So the same thing is this. This woman went to court. The case is pending in court. It's sub judice. Now, she cannot say she wants to now come back to the National Assembly when she was the one that took people to court. And she is a very, very, litigious individual. She's in court with the Senate President. She's in court with Umar. She's in court with one or two other principal officers. And then she's made allegations against other people. She's accused the Senate President and the former governor, Yahaya Bello of Kogi, of attempting to kill her. She's presented no evidence. These are sexual harassment allegations against the Senate President. She's presented no evidence. She just relies on social media, on people like, what's her name, Obi Ezekwesili. And Obi Ezekwesili herself has serious integrity issues. Very serious integrity issues. So these are people who are trying to project themselves. So look, if you look at the facts of the matter unemotionally, if this was not a mixed-race, light-skinned woman who is pretty and knows how to manipulate people, if this was a man like me, with white beards, and then, people like Obi and those, opportunistic people around that would not take this case the way it is. So we need to focus on what cannot lie. Let us focus on the facts. This woman is a terribly dishonest individual who has taken several cases to court, and the public, as well as the National Assembly, should allow those court cases play out. And when they play out, whatever the court says should happen, should happen. She should sit at home until the court says that the case has been adjudicated upon.